Esano bekirasti kras marasi badakrasundon. Hedo badi hanehano hoyadiko berasinde. Hieno hayon. Hiro makano ba hino makira sadiko makai. Hira semarasan. Herod bayande kod ba hirason. Herod bayaneyan. Hoya no hayo mekira dikoyan. Hoya hoya neyan. Zimoya marakira sprasiarasndon. Besi bahayane hoya hon.
Welcome, old friends and new, to Spiritual Conversations with Callah and the Ancients, divine spiritual beings seconded to Earth to assist in the evolution of humanity. Embark with us on a journey of self-discovery that will spark within thought-provoking concepts and truths. My name is Dallas Beckett, friend, team member and facilitator for this time with the Callah and the Ancients team. And here with me today is the channel for Callah and the Ancients and spiritual writer Kim, and divine spiritual channel, scribe, artist, seer, and celestial empathic healer, Aimee. Welcome everybody, and on today's program, Kim is going to be bringing through a divine channel from Spirit. Welcome, Kim.
Hi, well today I'm bringing through a channel that we've transcribed on star beings. So, what does it mean to be a star being? This expression has bounced around in these new energy vibrations. Many are told that they have not come from Earth, but from somewhere far away, somewhere far from home. What does it mean to be a star being? It means several things. It means that this is how many of you have felt upon the Earth, alone, different, even from the time of being very young. You have sat separate from those that dwelt around you in the human experience, and you have felt apart from them. You have felt different, and you have not known why. Some of you have embraced this difference and made it a part of your image on the earth. Some of you have grown to like shocking with your differences, and others have withdrawn into their shell, believing there is something wrong with them, that this detachment from others, around them and from this existence upon the earth, creates a barrier where they cannot exist here in harmony. It is very common for someone who has a star origin, who has felt this way, to fall into the pattern of self-abuse. This may come in the form of drug use, alcoholism, overeating, and even things as extremes as anorexia or suicide attempts. You have cried out in your longing for connection, and you have been heard. There are those upon the earth now that are fulfilling their missions to bring the information that you need to help you feel at peace, to help you feel at one with the earth that you exist on at this present time. There are reasons that you have felt this way, star being. One is that many of you that have come to earth are old souls. You have come through many incarnations, and across time there has been damage done not only to your soul family links, but also to your connection to your lineage. Every star being in existence comes from a star lineage. This lineage reaches to the divine. It is a part of your connection to the divine creator, to the source of all life and all existence. Through the lineage connection, you receive downloads. You receive information connected to those that are like you on a soul level, and it allows you to feel a sense of belonging, even if you stand in a physical space in which you are alone. So there are those of you that have felt alone simply because your connection to your lineage has been damaged across time. A reconnection and re-establishment of this lineage not only connects you again to the divine through your lineage, but it connects you to yourself, to the others that are a part of you, to the others that are soul family. This resonance goes out and you draw to you others that are like you, that resonate with the lineage signal that you send out for all is energy in this new earth. And you are only bringing and coming into this new earth from a state of grace where you already at one point knew about energy resonances. So that is one aspect. The aspect where you have felt disconnected from humanity at large and the connection of the Earth's existence comes from the fact that your groundedness and your centre space in the universe does not originally come from this Earth. You are a visitor here, and your centeredness and groundedness is not fully embraced with Mother Gaia. It is embraced through the Galactic Mother, the energy of the universe that is a larger version of Mother Gaia. Every energy, every planet that has an entity, Mother Gaia resonates and communicates with through the Galactic Mother. If you have come to Earth and felt this disconnection with the Galactic Mother, you have not yet established a strong connection with Mother Gaia. This is why you feel this way. Some of you will remedy this by becoming established once more with your connection to the Galactic Mother. There are many of you that would benefit having a strong connection to Gaia also, for this is the host planet. It is where you are living and have lived for many incarnations, and she knows you. The other aspect that comes from being a star being is that every single star being that has a lineage connection will be in contact with the gifts of that lineage. The gifts of the lineage across time transfer to the soul that is a part of that lineage. They become soul gifts and are unable to be taken. These star beings, being disconnected from their lineage or the Galactic Mother, have had little access to their gifts, and their gifts have been broken, stolen, and are dormant, and this brings about a disconnection from self. It allows them to feel that they do not have anything to offer, that they are very small. It disempowers them. Empowerment of the star being comes from a reconnection to the lineage, to the Galactic Mother, and to the gifts of the lineage that transfer to the soul, that are part of the light of the being's makeup, that allow them to shine with the light of the divine. A star being that is thus connected and whole stands a true light upon the earth and fulfills their mission, which is to hold the energy of this space, to stand in who they are and resonate and bring forth the energy that supports and stabilizes the energy that is giving birth to the new earth. Every single one of you star beings has purpose in being here. You are not lost or forgotten. Your longing has been heard, and we come into a time now where there are beings upon the planet that are able to help facilitate your journey home to yourself. They come from the stars themselves, and some of them are a part of your very lineage, your very makeup, and their presence will call to you, for it is the time of the reconnection. All those that thought they were alone will come to realize that they are surrounded by soul family, and as each lineage finds its repair and its healing, the soul is reconnected to the vibrations they were born with when their soul was birthed by the Great Source, will find comfort, understanding, and empowerment in the knowledge of their wholeness and their beginnings. When we speak of the gifts of the lineage and the soul, we speak of those things that star beings you do naturally, the instincts that you have, the animal that is wounded and you reach out and you speak to it without even thinking. The being that needs the arm around their shoulders and you feel an energy transference leave you and enter the being that needs it. On a 3D conscious level, you may not fully understand what has occurred, but there has been an energetic shift, an exchange of energy that comes naturally to the star being because it's part of their makeup. The visions, whether they come to you in full colour or in dreams, they tell you of the future that you are walking into. They give you warnings and advice. The intuitions that lay upon your makeup while you walk down a particular street and while you said hello to a particular person. These are the gifts of your being. They are living not at an asleep manner. They are the beginnings of awakening, an awakening that already lies upon your makeup because of who you are. These gifts can be hearing those that stand beyond the veil, being able to speak to another in their trouble and their strife, and the words come through you because you have heard them and felt them in your heart from another time and space, from another energy source, from the wisdom that is transferred to you through your lineage. You know what to say. The intuitions, the whispers of the heart, the visions of the future, the gifts of healing and transformation that lay upon you, the ability to be aware of energies that others are not, time rips, stargates. There are things that you do that seem odd to the average human, but there is great purpose and there is energy wisdom behind them. Where you place your crystals, where you build your homes, where you choose to live, the way you choose to live, the intuitions and wisdom that come to you that beg for manifestation, and you are driven to all sorts of actions that you would see these things manifest. The connections that hold no rhyme or reason but are strong and unbreakable, because you have met in one moment your kin. These are all gifts gifts of living a life more fully, more awake, more in tune with the rhythms of the universe, with the subtle energy vibrations that do not fully register for those that are living a human existence. But they are very real, and you all feel them. You are all aware of them, even though on the 3D level you fail to comprehend the fullness of their meaning. You are aware. And some of these vibrations and this sensitivity does not allow you to live a fully comfortable life in a 3D human existence. Some of you do not lack electricity, or what they call EMF emissions. Some of you are pained when you stand on a particular piece of earth that has been traumatized. Some of you shy away from that which is harsh and aggressive. Some of you race towards it, ready to do battle, for there is something within you propelling you to stand your ground, or these things are a part of your makeup and a part of your journey across the stars. There are particular constellations that even on Earth draw your eye and your energy, particularly groups of beings that in this new energetic world that are spoken about that you are drawn towards, knowing you have spent time in these incarnations with these beings. They resonate a home energy for you. It is only upon the Earth that is still asleep that these things are considered odd, for in truth they are natural and a natural part of your makeup and who you are on the long lineage line that you come from. A lineage that carries gifts of sight and magics and energetic wisdoms that reaches to the divine source itself. You are a being that has come to the earth to serve, to help hold the energy in this time of transition, to help evolve upon a world that is speeding forward in its own evolution, a world that in its complexities and its simplicities is waking up to itself and waking up to its own connection to the universe and to the divine. You stand on the precipice of an emergence that shapes the universe, and you have chosen to be here. I think I would like to share something. On reading that channel, actually reading it, the other day with the plan to speak on it today, it actually jogged one of my earliest childhood memories. And actually we were in a school class situation, but we think we were in physical education class, and all the kids were standing around in a circle throwing a ball, and I was there as well, and the teacher was there throwing the ball. And I had this sense of, well, this is a bit pointless. But more than that, I felt that I wasn't a part of that group. And so I was in primary school, I think, when this happened, and I made the excuse that I had a stomach ache. So I was excused from the class to actually sit on the bench outside this classroom. And I sat on that bench and I looked at the teacher and the kids and I thought, actually, I am not a part of this. I felt complete separation. And I sat there and I thought for a minute, and I thought, actually, there's something wrong with me. There's something definitely missing in me that I cannot connect. And I thought, I'll just have to wait for God to fix me. And it was a really, really strong, powerful moment for me. And that's why I remembered it. And I remembered it when I actually read the transcription. And, you know, I waited years for God to fix me. So I guess I didn't really get that sense of wholeness until I started channeling Callah and the Ancients. But then begins the repair of the soul lineage connections, and it makes all the difference to have those connections. So now I'm going to ask you, Dallas.
What are you going to ask me?
What was it like? Did you have that sense of separation when you were growing up?
If I were to write a book, the opening line would be, when I was a little girl, I always knew I didn't belong. That would be the opening line. I never felt really connected, and I always was looking at the stars. And the only way I ever really felt connected right from a very young wee girl was being outside under the stars dancing. That's kind of how I got. That would make me feel inside wonderful. Yeah, I was just actually thinking about something similar with your physical education. I could do lots of things like that, but I never had like groups of people that I belonged to, and even now. And really, it's only been now in the last 7 years when I've been with Callah and the Ancients and understanding how that you and Aimee have fixed my systems and taught me lots of different things about why I was like that. And in that disconnect for me, for years, my crutch was over-exercising and alcohol, because I was continually wanting to feel better about myself, not knowing that there was a much bigger plan and understanding that I needed to know. So, yeah, it's not been an easy journey.
No,
really.
it is a journey and a process, isn't it? And I think one of the things is once you have that understanding, then you start getting that acceptance that, yeah, there's reasons why you don't connect with certain groups of people, or a certain person that you meet down the street or conversations and that you don't resonate with. And there are reasons for that. And when you understand the reasons for it, the energetic reasons behind it, then you grow your acceptance of it and then self-acceptance, and then you're okay. You can still have that casual meeting and that casual acceptance and know that you're okay, that it's not a detriment, that you don't feel there's a strong connection, that in the past you kind of wanted to be part of that group, but you just couldn't. But now, especially since 2014, since the energy has come into the grid of the earth for soul family connection, there's so many more people that are drawn to each other, star beings, that can start making those connections that give them that sense of home. What about you, Aimee?
I think for me, I definitely have always known that I was different. And I always had a sense that I was here with purpose. I always had a very strong sense of that. I think for probably my first 25 years, I spent most of my time trying to fit in. And it wasn't until I actually really started to love and accept myself as I was and went through the rites of passage that come with coming to that place that I was able to move into more being true to who I was and actually really discovering my sense of purpose and why I was here, and also drawing to me that soul family and those soul connections that are fulfilling. But I think the thing that was a wee bit different for me is right from the time I remember, I have always had a very strong connection to the divine. And it took me quite a long time to realise that not everybody feels that way. But for me, I had always had this sense of presence of God and the divine with me. And I remember even from a very young age being aware of the angels and things around me. So for me, that was my sense of belonging and home and my sense of nurture and nourishment. And so that has actually made all the difference. Some of the rites of passage we go through to actually get to a place where we're happy with who we are and we're living our purpose can be very brutal. And I know that even in my darkest moments, I have actually never really felt alone because of that connection to the divine.
I think that's the saving grace, really, is if you have that inner connection to the divine. But a lot of people don't have it. And because it comes through your soul lineage connection a lot, how can they get it at a really deep level? Because they have to have those soul lineages connections, really. And they make all the difference. So another thing, Aimee was really lucky to be born into a family where there was 3 of the same soul family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
definitely.
In that respect, it was our saving grace. But Aimee's correct in that she always had that strong sense of that presence of the divine, because I remember when I was a regular church goer and they all went to Sunday school, and I can remember her coming home embarrassed one day because she said that she had moved across in the pew in the church to make room for God to sit. And then realised, actually, that's not part of this particular reality. So, yeah, she's always had that really strong sense. So it's pretty awesome to have that. But we're coming into time where there's more and more reconnection. And star beings in particular do not need to feel alone, that they can have that fellowship. The earth is, even with these latest shifts that have come through this year, the October, November and the December shift, they've been really tough energetically, emotionally, mentally on a lot of people and everything. But we're moving into these higher vibrations that allow for more reconnection, more healing. So it's a pretty awesome time.
Thanks, Kim and Aimee. That was awesome. You've been listening to Spiritual Conversations with Callah and the Ancients. Join us again in a couple of weeks' time. And don't forget, this and previous episodes of Spiritual Conversations with Callah and the Ancients are available as a podcast from freshfm.net, iTunes, and the Access Internet radio app.